Hey, my name's Quentin, and I got a job on a ship.
Hey, Quentin.
And for the next month, this is my room. You see, I spent 4 years in an academy,
Quentin, Arthur, Heck.
2 weeks at training, and $80 on these pants to get this job. And we're going to answer one question. Should I keep this job? Now that I've got your attention, let's start from the beginning.
Time to break a couple. Contraband. I know rap game contraband. 100 bands. Time to get the bag up. 100 bands. Heading on back to the motherland. I'ma pop off in the motherland. Wonderland. I live in two worlds like Wonderland. Yeah.
So the first week I just spent getting used to where everything was at, so I figured I'd show you as well. Here's the gym and the common area. Here's the mess. This is where everybody would get together to eat. And here's the galley, or the kitchen. We didn't have a cook, so it was basically cheesy eggs and mac and cheese for me. Now this up here, this is the bridge. And this is where the deckies drive while we're underway. As you can see, there's plenty of windows for sightseeing, but there's also controls up here so they can control all the thrusters from up here where you can actually see where we're going. Now, down here, this is where I work. These are 4 marine propulsion diesel generators, and that's what uses power to power the thrusters so we can actually move forward. They're not the quietest machinery. This is the switchboard where we control those MPDGs, and it has to be in a certain room and be cooled to a certain temperature so that way the electronics don't overheat. Booyah. 2 generators in parallel. Now these are the ship service diesel generators, and this is used for like lighting and power to your room, and accommodation power that we use for everything else besides propulsion. We have 3 of these on the boat, and that's controlled by a switchboard in the ECR, or the engine control room. The engine control room is just like it is in the name. We control most of the machinery from this room. And here's the switchboard that controls the SSDGs. Now this is Grady.
Sure.
Grady's a goofball,
Get the fuck
but
out.
he makes for great content.
Such a fucking dumbass.
The ship's also equipped with 3 lifeboats that me and Grady are in charge of, and these lifeboats are used in case of emergency. If the ship's sinking, we all get in and drop in the water. We also have an FRC, which is a fast rescue boat, and this boat's used to rescue anyone that has fallen overboard. And since we have to work on this boat every week, it's a little too close to the edge for my taste. Lastly, this is my bathroom. Now me and Grady are both 3rd assistant engineers, so really quick I want to explain the hierarchy of titles on a ship. So at the very, very top, you have your captain. Captain is in charge of mostly everything, and everyone really reports to him, the last line of communication to shore. Now, just slightly below him is the chief engineer. Now, below your captain and your chief engineer, you're going to have your chief mate and your 1st assistant engineer. Below these 2, you're going to have your 2nd assistant engineer and your 2nd mate, and then your 3rd mate and your 3rd assistant engineer. That's what me and Grady are. Below that, you're going to have your QMed in the engine room department, and on the deck side, you're going to have your bosun. Then you're going to have your wipers and your oilers, and your ABs, or able-bodied seamen. Now at the very bottom you have OS. OS is an ordinary seaman, and they work on both sides of the crew. This line separates the licensed and the unlicensed. Now, on the left side of this line, you're going to have your engine department, and on the right side, your deck department. Now that you understand that, let's get back to the video.
Yeah. Hey, look, pressure on my shoulders, still I live. I've been sending prayers since my cousin worked the shift.
Alright, let's go over what I have to take to work. First, you're going to have a flashlight, wrench, ratchet, screwdriver, channel locks, a knife, some gloves, marker, pen, notebook, rag, water. And somehow all that fits in my pants, so I guess they were worth the $80. So the second week we had to take apart this evap. The evaporator is what we use to make water from salt water. It just heats salt water up until it boils and then cools it back down so there's no more salt in it. This is what it looks like on the inside. You can see those plates that are stacked against each other. That's where the water boils, so the salt stays back and it gets super fucking dirty, so we had to clean all that shit. Here's what the plates look like. And here's a ship getting a little too fucking close. Another job I had to do was we had a fan back here seize up. As you can see, it's spinning now because I chipped all the inches of rust out of it. But yeah, this thing right here seized shut because there was so much rust on the outside here that the fan blades were caught on the outside of it. So I had to take a needle gun and chip all that rust out. Then me and Grady had to do some work on the lifeboat engine. It was having some issues with the oil pressure. So right here I was just checking the fluids and I could tell that the coolant in this engine was low. So I filled it with Dasani water.
Engines like Dasani.
The water to antifreeze mixture is usually 50-50, so we added antifreeze after we added water.
Delicious.
Now this next job ain't for the faint of heart. It was like straight out of a horror movie about claustrophobia. Could you do this job?
It's not Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Right now I'm checking the oil and the agitators. Alright, so the agitators are big fucking fans that just mix mud in a big old tank, right? But it's in the worst spot ever. Well, in that darkness over there, alright? Came through there, went through there, got all the way around, and then boom. I don't know who wrote this, but thank you so much.
So at this point, after crawling around through 11-inch gaps, I was really debating whether I should keep this job or not. So I need to know what you guys think at this point. Should I keep it, or should I pursue my lifelong dream of being a YouTuber? That was a joke. Now this job is on a vessel known as an OSV, or an offshore supply vessel. The company I'm working for owns over 50 OSVs, and our sole purpose is to supply offshore drilling ships and platforms. These rigs and drilling ships aren't the most mobile, so it's easier if they contract us and our OSVs to bring them drilling pipe, fuel, mud, and anything else that they need to get the job done. Now OSVs are just one kind of ship. There's all kinds of vessels in the merchant marine fleet, including container ships, tankers, bulk carriers, ro-ros, and a shit ton more that will bore the fuck out of you if I go into describing. But now that you're aware of what kind of ship I'm working on and the different kinds of ships out there, let's go on to week 3.
Jump, here we come. This a testimony, not a song. Got the prayer list on the brun. Boy, I want the whole loaf, I don't need no crumb.
So week 3, we had an ABS and a Coast Guard inspection just to make sure the vessel was up to code. And here you can see Grady fucking some shit up. I'm just kidding, Grady. This is a massive fire pump that we refer to as the FIFI, firefighting system, and we use that big thing up on deck to put out fires on oil rigs. And then we celebrated with some fries and chicken. Now there's a saying for sailors that says, red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky in the morning, sailor's warning. And here you can see a perfectly red sky in the morning, and sure as shit, did we get a torrential downpour. As a matter of fact, they got pretty freaking gnarly because we actually had to turn on the MPDGs and actually push the boat into the dock so that way the lines connecting us to the ship next to us didn't snap. We also had to fill the 28 starboard potable tank for the new crew that was coming on. As you can see here, that little black water hose there is what connects to the dock. It goes over that boat next to us and connects to us right there. Then it goes to the bulkhead, travels through this line right here, all the way to the 28 starboard valve, which is right here. So then we're going to go ahead and open that, and now the 28 starboard is being filled with potable water. As the week was wrapping up, we had to take some soundings of all the tanks on the ship, so that way the next crew that was coming on board knew exactly how much fuel, lube oil, water we had on the boat. So the way we do this is we actually just send a sounding tape, which is essentially a big ass ruler, all the way down the tank through a sounding tube, and then we pull it up and we see how deep the fluid actually is, like you can see right here. And then I report that measurement back to the ECR so they can use that to convert it to calculate the amount of volume in the tank.
Hey Grady, you got me?
Take your time, Grady.
I got 1 foot, 1 inch and 3/4 and 17 cents.
So after 21 days of strenuous labor, it's finally time to answer the big question. Should we keep this job? What do you think? Let's pack up our stuff, clean our room, and get back so we can figure out whether we're going to keep this job or not.
Wow. 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 Looking in the crowd and I got 'em like, wow.
Alright, I've actually been home for like a week. I just thought bringing that bag in would be a good addition to the video. So, forget that. So, final question. Should we keep this job? We did a full 21 days on a ship. So, let's look at a pros and cons list. Cons. It is a lot of work. 12 hours of work every single day. It's like 90 hours of work a week. You got to be away from home. Your room is very small. Pros. It's a dope crew. Everybody knows how to cook on that ship, even though I don't. So that's pretty cool. It's a sick job to be a part of. You learn a lot. Yeah, I don't know. That might be it. They're basically even. The pros and cons are basically even. I want to know what you think I should do. Should I keep the job or not? But there's one thing that is going to determine my final answer, and that is money. Is my address on here? No. Money. My mom always says that money doesn't buy happiness. But I've never seen a sad guy on a jet ski. So this is going to be the final factor of whether I keep this job or not. I think I'm going to keep the job. You thought I was done? No, I'm back. If you're still here, comment below. I've never seen a sad guy on a jet ski. And watch that video because YouTube thinks you'll like it.
Yeah, that's crazy.